Okay, okay.
Okay. Oh, hey, should we put out the the announcement?
I just did.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
I just announced things. Let me pour myself some tea.
Sure.
Delicious warm peppermint. Um, I'm trying to think before we get started. Anything? Oh, I need to pause my Dropbox. Do. I don't see nobody this week. Any viewers? No. I was gonna ask someone how everyone's levels. Hey, Andrew, can you say some stuff?
Say some stuff.
Adam,
I don't
can you
know what
say
you
some
said.
stuff? Adam, can you say some stuff? He looks frozen.
I thought he was just being a jerk. I was like, freaking just not even talking.
Oh, I can't hear you, Adam. I can't hear you. That just made a lot of noise.
I know. I cannot move at all. Apparently, this couch or this chair is really noisy. I don't know what it is. This microphone is just really sensitive to things that aren't important.
Yeah, that's weird.
You listen to this? That's my mouse moving around over here.
Your sound was way better last week. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you could hear in the final version, but like, you actually sounded almost like one of us.
No, I plugged it into my USB 3 port instead of the
Yeah.
2. I think that might have helped a little bit.
I think it was that, but I also think it was like having the mouse off of the. Because I had to do a lot of noise. Anytime you do noise reduction, it thins out your voice and makes you sound like you're in a walkie-talkie or something. You know what I mean? It's like just degrades the quality of your recording more and more.
Can I just be on a walkie-talkie next week? You just hold the walkie-talkie of me, and you just put it up to the mic.
Just hold it up. Everybody, This is Andrew.
You can have my picture on
I
it.
don't know what happened with Adam.
He's having problems. He's not frozen. He just went deaf, and he doesn't know it.
Hopefully he doesn't think we all can hear him.
I don't think that's a problem.
Let me try muting him and then unmuting him. Okay, I unmuted him.
He just not
Adam.
seem to be making noise.
And he just seems to keep talking. Like, I can't tell if he's doing anything other than just talking to see if that fixes it.
I feel like I need to get a pop filter, though. Just for fun.
I need a different one. This one's like way too large, and it really doesn't do all that much.
Yeah, they have them at Best Buy. Maybe I'll go check them out.
Best Buy.
Best Buy.
I forget people still go to that place.
Yeah, some people still do when they don't want to wait.
I just do overnight shipping.
I normally do that. Like, I have Amazon Prime, but it still takes like 3 days, and I'm like,
oh, that's because you live way out there, huh? Everything's that extra day.
It's really dumb.
Adam, try going to. This is what happened to me last week. I don't know, but if you go to the settings thing at the top of the Hangout window, you know there's the menu on the top. You have that gear. Click in that, and then make sure everything's in there set right. It probably will be, and then just hit save.
That was my phone.
Wow.
Adam asks us if we can hear him. Or
No, we can't hear you, Adam, at all.
he says, I can hear you guys just fine. What
Yeah,
the heck? Okay. I
I
was
got
explaining to the audience watching in the live. That's okay. I want to turn off my phone.
It's weird how your guys' names have underscores after them. I wonder what.
Yeah, no, I missed that too.
Well, shoot, dang, Adam.
You can always leave and try coming back into the group.
Have we tried that when we were broadcasting? I think if we're broadcasting and he leaves, he can't come back in. I seem to remember that. This is fun.
Is your mic plugged in, or?
Well, he was talking before, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I had to take 2 exams today. I'm not excited about.
Oh, fun. I definitely don't miss that.
Yeah.
This is I really don't know how to help here.
I don't know what to do. Well, okay. I'm back on for a little bit then. I went to the store the other day, and they had Candy Crush candy that you could buy. Which I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Adam, I don't think it worked. What was that?
I know, that was something.
It sounded like electricity farted.
And then the picture went to you, so it came from you.
No, it wasn't me. It only goes
No,
to
I mean,
me.
it came from Adam. The video went to Adam.
Oh, yeah. Something's got to be unplugged wrong or something weird is going on over there. You may want to try switching USB ports. Okay, it shows him as muted in the corner.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that before. Was that there before?
No, it wasn't.
Hello?
Hello!
Hey! I can hear
Hello!
you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't hear you. So
Are you
if you can
serious?
hear me and I can't hear you, that's weird. I don't know what to make of this.
How does that happen?
It's got to be something in his sound settings. If it's that, it's got to be software wise. Now he's muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And we can
And
hear
I
you.
can hear you. Yay!
I think you just had like a weird combo of your mute switch plus something on the computer plus, you know what I mean?
I just unplugged it and plugged it back in, and then I guess you could hear me, but I couldn't hear you, which was weird. So I just did it again.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it lasts the whole show here, eh?
Yeah, I could work in IT. I just problem solving.
Plug it back in again. That's pretty much how it works.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. You guys ready to start the recording, the audio recording?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Record.
Recording.
Okay, dokay. Now that we're all here, I wonder what happens if I. Oh, sorry. Is it? No, don't do that. That's how this all started, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's how it broke.
Let's see what happens if I do this.
Ooh.
We're all ops.
Did I get ops in the channel? That's so exciting.
Don't screw anything up. For some reason, when I come back, the modes change every time. I don't know why. All right. How's you guys' week been?
It's been pretty good. It's been all right.
Yeah, it's been good.
Looks like it's been cold up in Utah.
Yeah. Did you get? I think I sent you a picture a couple of days ago. It got down to like 10 degrees.
Nope.
Yesterday it snowed. Today it snowed a little bit.
Today, where I'm at, it is 57 degrees right now, and I'm wearing a hoodie.
It's 63 where I'm at, but that's because I'm by the lake. So
The lake keeps you warmer?
yeah, it keeps it warmer and keeps it cooler during the heat.
Interesting. Well, I don't really have anything to talk about, so should we just get started?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't have any shucking and jiving to do.
I was gonna make cookies this week, and I went to the store and I bought everything I needed for cookies except eggs because I thought we had eggs, and then we didn't have eggs, so I haven't made any cookies for anybody.
Oh,
And
you can't make our show a liar, man.
I'm not gonna make the show a liar. I just need eggs. And since I went to the store that one time, I haven't had time to go back.
Yeah. Let me get this on. I gotta adjust my mic real quick.
I'm gonna try to sniffle less this week.
Really? I enjoyed that
me
part.
too.
You should do more sniffling.
There were some that I cut out because they're easier to spot. Where it was like really long. It was like. It was like, when's it gonna stop?
You should.
You gotta breathe, right?
I wonder if because I have a little app that runs where you just hit like a F key and it mutes. I do that a lot. I wonder if there's an equivalent for Windows. I don't really know.
I don't know.
There probably is, but that's what I do. Okay, let's get. Oh wait, before we get started, Serial, dude, Savage, where are you at?
I just finished the episode 8 last night.
Yeah.
What is the deal with Jay?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. After that episode, I just felt like, is this just all a waste of time?
Well, it's like, I couldn't help but thinking back to the episode before that when she talked to the Amnesty lawyer lady or whatever, Innocence Project lawyer, and because she was like, "Oh, you wouldn't have gotten lucky enough to find a case where somebody's such a brilliant psychopath." But like the way that it's being set up now, it's almost either because both Jay's and Adnan's stories directly contradict, and they're both so believable. So it almost seems like one of them has to be a psychopath for the other story to be true.
And the only one you have actual hard evidence that they were involved is Jay. They don't have any evidence for Adnan, even though it really does seem like he has more of a motive. But Jay's the one who led them to the car, you know what I mean? He's the one who had all these details. I don't know, it's crazy. I went back and I started listening to episode 1 again, and it's actually really interesting with what you know now to listen to things in episode 1. They make a lot more sense, so. I tried not to spend my whole Friday night reading in the subreddit. I stopped at like 5:30. I was like, nope, no more, no more. Everywhere I go, I'm like making an alibi for myself.
Yeah, to make sure, remember who sees you, talk to people randomly, make a big scene.
Just take a lot of selfies. Make sure that
That's what I was thinking.
geotagging.
Because everybody's down on like people oversharing everything on social media all the time, and then I thought, I was like, yeah, that's probably true. And then I listened to Sarah, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's the
creating
best
alibis.
idea
The
ever.
best thing to do is construct an alibi constantly.
I'm going to Foursquare into every single place I go. I can never be blamed for murder.
Aaron is checked in at Lincoln Park.
Unless he names his
Aaron
house
is
like
the mayor of
crime.
Lincoln Park.
So he checks himself into the crime scene.
I'd be the mayor of Crab Crib.
Aaron is the mayor of Best Buy parking lot.
So
Hot
I
tip,
do have a
there's no
story of
cameras
Lincoln
here. What, Andrew?
So one time we were driving through Lincoln Park, and we had a giant truck on a mission, and we were just driving, and suddenly a deer runs into the side of our truck, like head on, destroys the entire side of our truck. It's just gone, and this deer just runs off and dies, and we're like scared the crap out of us.
Did
I
you
just
bury it by a
screamed.
log for a streaker to find?
No.
Oh.
But yeah,
funny.
that's my story of Lincoln Park. That place is crazy.
Is it sketchy? It sounds sketchy.
So I wonder if I have pictures. I have pictures close to it. Like there was this family that was like a recent convert family that was like 300 feet away from Woodlawn High School. Actually, the 2 or 3 of the kids went there, and so we'd drive by there all the time. It's actually one of the nicer areas in Baltimore, in Catonsville, which is where Woodlawn is, because it's really interesting because the area that I served in was 2 areas. I'm going to try to do this backwards so you guys can see on yours. So this area was Ellicott City, which is like one of the richest cities in America, like the 3rd richest city. And then right next to it was Catonsville, and it was like one of the poorest in the world. And it had it was in Baltimore County, like this part right here. And Woodlawn's right there. And Lincoln Park is right up here. And then the other part, the one they go hang out, is right up here on this side. And then Baltimore downtown's right here.
Yeah, like they were saying, like I didn't realize that it's like the area, it's the area where like the people getting out of the bad area go to, but it's still
pretty bad.
It's bad, but it's like people trying to flee. It's like Lancaster or Palmdale.
Yeah. So
LA.
I just remember the story. There was this one investigator that we talked. She eventually got baptized. She went to Woodlawn, and we were talking to her, and she was walking with a limp, and I'm like, "Hey, what happened? Why are you limping?" She says, "Oh, I got hit by a car." I'm like, "Whoa, time out. Explain this." And she said, "Well, it's kind of a long story." I'm like, "This is what I live for. I just need to know what happened." She's like, "Okay, well, me and my friends were hanging out, and these guys with guns came up, and were like, we're going to get you." I'm like, "Oh, shoot." So they started running from these guys. And as they were running away from these people, these other guys with guns try to stop them. Like, has like a knife or something like that. They're like, "Oh, crap." So they're running, they're diving through, and they're going through these alleyways. And as she's diving through, she gets hit by a car.
What?
She's like, "I can't stop." So she just ran home. She's like, oh. So that's every day, apparently. I don't understand.
I never want to go to this place.
I kind of want to go to this place, but I know I shouldn't.
I want to stay away as much as possible.
I'm totally interested in craziness like that.
I want to see if I have pictures. Let me see just a second. Okay, talk amongst yourself. I'll try not to make a lot of noise.
Well, as usual, everyone's worried about spoilers, and we haven't said anything that is really going to spoil. Like, this is all stuff that's covered in the first episode.
Here's what's upsetting. There's not as many spoilers as I would hope there would be.
Yeah, there really isn't anything we can spoil. Like, up until episode 8, which is the most recent episode, you really can't spoil anything.
Okay, I got some pictures from Catonsville. Let me see. I have one of a guy in an Elvis suit on Valentine's Day pointing at me and taking a picture. See if I can upload that. I just want to upload it.
Where are you trying to put this? In Slack?
Yeah. There we go. This is just outside of Cairnsville.
Oh man, I love Elvis's.
It was on Valentine's Day. It was really weird.
Oh, I don't think I copied the link right. Oh well, we'll see if it works for people.
Oh, here's another area. You're probably not interested in any of this, but this was this is an abandoned factory in Catonsville that we decided to go into.
I just want you to show
me
that
was smart.
Of the Best Buy parking lot is what I really want.
This is really good radio. Us showing pictures to each other.
Yeah. Let's get started.
And we technically
I'm gonna get ready to do the read. All right.
Remember when a couple of weeks ago I was like, hey, maybe we should remember that this is a primarily like audio format.
Stop it.
And that if we put stuff into our own personal private chat room, people can't see it. So
exactly.
All right, let's get started. Welcome to 3 Guys, 3 Questions, where 3 friends test the limits of propriety through the questions we ask. Today is November 15th, 2014. This is episode 11 of season 2, and I'm Aaron L.M. Goodwin, and I'm joined as always by Andrew Savage. Say hello, Andrew.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
I didn't hear them say hi back. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's listening.
Still waiting.
And I'm also joined by Adam Tars Anderson.
Yeah, Tars is my homeboy. I love Tars.
Tars is he's all right.
Exactly.
Tars would be more interesting if he's in his own movie.
If he was just like there's a spin-off movie just about Tars.
Yeah, there should be a standalone movie about Tars.
Like a prologue about Tars.
The prequels.
Yeah, I wish I could be half as funny as Tars though.
Oh, the video stream is stuck on Adam.
That's okay.
Sorry. I just didn't even question it because I enjoyed looking at him so much.
Yeah, we have that recorded now, so.
We know how long the delay is because Gen 10 just said hi in the chat room, so there we go. And Andrew's just sharing pictures of e-cigs.
Sorry. That's not an e-cig.
Wizard cigarettes. Oh,
That's
it's not.
A hypodermic needle?
That's a needle.
Oh, I can't see. Oh, wow. Gosh, hypodermic needles. All right, follow up and feedback. Let's get into that.
Okay, I'm done with the pictures. Sorry.
We've already done this before. We don't need the posting pictures during the show thing. We already know how that.
Oh, good. The first thing in the follow-up is a picture.
We did it. We found the best GIF ever. I just wanted to share it with people. It'll be in the show notes. That's all I really had to say. But I think it's quite beautiful. It's a kid doing like a fist pump, like yeah, I did it kind of thing, and then he does like a front flip from within himself because there's some glitch in the video. And it's
pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome. Okay, second piece of follow-up and feedback is from Adam.
Oh yeah, I was talking to my dad the other day. I've realized these last 2 weeks most of our feedback just comes from my parents. So where are you guys' parents? They need to be more supportive.
They don't listen because they're intelligent to have never listened to this.
Anyway, so he was like, yeah, he basically just told me that he agrees with our assessment of Kiss, that they're extremely overrated and just kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. If you like Kiss, that's cool. I mean, cool.
Here's the thing about Kiss, though. Kiss is like the precursor to Juggalos.
I wonder if that's where it all began.
I think so. I'm going to say yes.
Oh, speaking of Juggalos.
Oh my goodness, sorry.
I started a Google alert for the word Juggalo, and it's the greatest thing that's ever happened.
You stumbled upon something.
I found like a weekly column written by a Juggalo about Juggalos, and it was amazing. And there was I think the other big news story this week about Juggalos was that they're starting a community outreach program in Detroit.
Oh, good.
Clean up the neighborhood.
That they destroyed earlier.
I don't know whether or not they destroyed it earlier, but they're cleaning it up now.
Okay, that's good. I love how, in the future,
which is a step
Juggalos,
up of how I thought about them previously. So,
I love how the Juggalos in the future are going to be like the Kwanzas or like the Shriners of our community.
they're going to be like the Buddhists.
Did you just say Kwanzas?
Yeah.
Did you mean Kiwanis?
Yes, I meant Kiwanis. That's what I meant.
For a second, I was all, huh?
I
Where's
don't
this
even-
going? Yeah, they're like the Shriners of the future. Oh man, driving around in little cars.
Juggalo makeup on.
Needs to happen. Get on it, Juggalos.
In the future, instead of names like Triple Face Killer that they give to themselves, it'll be like, "Hello, my name is Peaceful. I'm a Juggalo."
No, it has to be the exact same. Triple face killer on a little car.
Would you like to donate to help build children's hospitals?
My
name is Children Killer.
Hello, my name is Triple Face Killer, and I'm with your local Juggalo organization. I'm going around this afternoon to collect money for the local orphans.
I would.
Would you like to make a donation?
Turn out that way.
I'm just saying that's what's
If
happening.
you don't, I'll murder your family.
Next piece of follow up is about Andrew's. Where's that Twitter account?
Yeah.
Oh,
what's that?
so
John.
I was making it, but then I had to make a new email to make the Twitter account, and then I had homework, and I was like, I forgot.
Okay, so what you need to do is just put in your regular Gmail email,
Mm-hmm.
and then put plus whatever the name you want for the Twitter account. You could put plus anything. You could put plus sign up or whatever. But anyhow, Gmail accounts, you can add a plus and then any word you want to the email, and it will send it to the same email address, but the person you signed it up with, it looks like a new email address.
I will do that then.
As someone who has many Twitter accounts.
Because I have some good things that he said last couple days, but I'll wait.
All right. Hopefully, get it. If you can get it done before this show goes up, we'll have it in the show notes.
Okay, I'll do it today after my test. Just
fun. All right. And then you know what? I don't even want to talk about the next piece of follow up because I'm just so disgusted with it.
I'm glad that you've made that decision. That's a good decision.
Don't even want to talk about.
Anyway, to summarize what Aaron's not talking about, people are stupid and internet arguments are the dumbest thing ever.
Here's the thing, and I'm really not going to get into it. I'm really not going to get into it.
I was giving people a summary.
I'm not going to get into it.
So that they wouldn't be left out.
No, because your summary is
said that you weren't going to get into it.
I'm not going to get into it, but what I am going to say is I think we should all try a little more to be less critical of positive things that people put out. So even if there's if you have a disagreement with something, try to do it in a positive way instead of starting an argument that distracts from the positive things if someone posts a picture of their wife and their children and they're like, I love my family, don't be like, oh, I can't believe you put those shoes on your kid, and then don't go and compliment and agree with that person, then start a whole crap fest. That's all.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Just
shame me for not having a family. It's
yeah, it's anyhow. That's all I have to say. So let's get into our questions.
Yeah.
If you're new to the show, here's how it works. Each host.
You want to try that again?
Yeah. If you're new to the show, here's how it works. Each host asks a question. Then each host gives their answer. Hilarity hopefully ensues. And we move to the next question, and I have today's first question.
Wait, did we ever go over our sponsors?
This week, we are sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Black Holes Named Gargantua, and MailChimp.
It's pronounced MailChimp, Aaron.
MailChimp. Go to mailchimp.com.
Yeah, because if you put MailChimp in, you'll get something completely different.
It's totally weird.
Actually, you won't. If you put in MailChimp, it actually goes to mailchimp.com.
Mailkite?
Really?
Yep.
Mailtatropy.
And we actually use MailChimp. So if you
I
go
don't
to
even
our
know
subscribe,
what MailChimp is.
it's an email newsletter service. So
There's
if
how
you
do you
go
give high fives through it or somehow or
He's just
something?
being clever. That's not real high fives.
Oh.
it's high fives.
Like
Or
is it
emails.
like a picture of somebody's hand that like with the caption "Good job."
Sure.
You're
Anyhow, if you go to
overthinking
3g3q.co/subscribe, there's an option to get email subscriptions, and that's through MailChimp. So.
I didn't know
Yep.
that.
Yep. Brand, see, maybe I need to talk about it more. All right, so first question is me, and the question is, what do you pretend to know / understand, but secretly don't? And hopefully I'm not the only one who does this. I don't think I am. But...
Well, judging by your recent internet conversations, you aren't. So I'm first, right? I'm the one that's supposed to answer this.
Yeah.
So my answer to this question starts the same way that a lot of my other answers start, in that I'm an English major, so most things. But yeah, no, I just so I'm editing a book right now for a professor in the church history and doctrine department.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going through it. I'm going through it really slowly. And sometimes we meet to discuss things. And sometimes during those discussions, I'll just start saying words I know that have to do with words, but I'm not really sure what I'm saying. And I can go on like this for a couple of minutes, and I'm just waiting for him to call me out. Like, Adam, that doesn't make any sense.
Are you trying to impress him?
I don't know. I just want him to trust me as an editor, and so I start saying big words, and then I start losing myself, and I can't stop, and I'm just waiting for him to call me out, but he never does.
He's just really nice.
Or
He might
he's
just be
really
nice.
evil.
I don't know.
He just wants to let you just dig the hole deeper, deeper and deeper.
I think it might be that he actually does trust me, because most of the time I'm coherent, and most of the time I do know what I'm talking about. But every once in a while, I just kind of descend into madness, and I start like, oh, I mean, the adjective pairs and and he's like, he just kind of sits there and nods, and I'm waiting for him to call me out, and he doesn't. So I don't know, maybe he is evil, and he's just like, I want to see how long he can keep this up.
That's what I would do if I was in that position. Just let him keep going.
So Aaron's saying he's evil by the transitive property.
Yep.
I didn't know that was under dispute.
No, just proof.
Any of you had
Look for
questions
proof.
about that, so
Anyone take a selfie right now so we know where we were when this happened.
case closed. Aaron did it.
I do that in class sometimes too. I have editing classes, and sometimes I'll just say things, or like, in my Shakespeare class, sometimes I'll come to class not having read the play, and the teacher will ask a question, and I'll answer it, and he'll be like, "Yeah, that was pretty good," but I'll have no idea what I said.
Wow. Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, this play really represents the duality of man.
And you are the reason the humanities aren't taken seriously.
Most of the time, I do know what I'm talking about. In class, in Shakespeare class, though, sometimes I don't have time to read the play, and I just kind of want to see if I can get away with it. Like, I would be perfectly okay with being called out, but nobody calls me out on it.
That's because none of them read it either. I feel like in college courses, there's this grand secret that everyone keeps, and it's that none of us have read this, even the professor. None of us have time to do this in the time allotted, so we are all just BSing, right? It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend this weekend to actually get caught up on my reading and actually know what I'm talking about in class instead of not knowing.
Good call. Good call.
It's my plan anyway. I'll probably just end up not doing that.
All right, Andrew, I want to hear your answer to this question. What
So
do you pretend to know, understand, but don't?
I pretend to understand like super nerdy things. So let me explain. So like my brother really likes Dungeons and Dragons and like Magic the Gathering and Warhammer stuff like that. I have no idea what any of these things are. Like as I say these words, I'm guessing. And anyway, so he'll like explain like these scenarios and stuff that they go over, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's pretty. Did you did you roll the dice and stuff? And the conversation keeps going, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I
Do you
just
like
understand.
zone? Do you really zone out when he's talking about it?
No, I try to understand. I can't. Like I'm just, it's just not a thing that can happen. I'm like, I'm really trying to pay attention, but it's like I just can't let on that I don't know what's going on.
Like somehow you've managed to pick up enough of the vocabulary to keep the conversation going, but you still have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, like I'm
You
like,
just
oh
you
man,
just know which words to say at which times.
I'm like, what happened to your mana? I thought you had some mana. He says, oh no, that's my other character. I'm like, oh, okay. I was confused and just keep going.
No, what you need to do is double down and you say, what happened to your mana? He's like, that's my other character, and you're like, is it? And then walk away.
So,
And you're like, was it? Do I have mana?
so the problem though is not necessarily my brother, because my brother's he's cool, he understands. I don't understand it, but with other people who like realize that I'm like kind of nerdy, and then
Yeah.
they want to talk to me about everything, and I'm like, I don't want to like exclude them or make them feel bad, so I'm like, yeah, okay, that's neat, okay. That's really, I think that's cool. And I just let them keep going, and I feel bad because I think they think that I'm on the same page as them, but I am not.
And then later they're like, oh hey, they're in a group and they're like, oh, Andrew knows about all this. Hey Andrew, and you're just like, oh no, what have I
I
done?
call that knowing just enough to get yourself into trouble, right?
Yeah, sounds about
Yeah.
Like
right.
one day you're just gonna be kind of nodding your head and be like, yeah, yeah, totally, and then they're gonna somehow just like wrangle you into playing a game, and you're just gonna be like, oh no.
It's gonna be some weird like televised competition, and I'm sitting there with them. I'm like, oh crap!
You just have no idea what's happening. You're just writing things down, and they're like, it's time to roll the dice. And you're like, okay.
You guys are gonna tell me what this means, right?
I attacked the Balrog with my arrow. Andrew, you can't do that. It's bodyman.
Yeah. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
I have that problem too with nerdy stuff where I like know just enough about a lot. I know a lot about a lot of things because I'm really interested. Like I'm curious, I want to learn about many things, but no one has the time to go in depth on everything, and so yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, it's like there are these certain terms in every like circle of fanaticism that are like the event horizon of that fanaticism. Right.
Yeah.
So you know these words, and then it just like the other people will just suck you in. They're like, nobody else knows these words except us. You are part of us now, and then you can leave.
And it's tough because I mean,
And
you
you
don't
just
you don't want to invalidate their fanaticism. I mean, that's cool, but you also don't want the misunderstanding to prolong itself. Oh, it's difficult. All right. Well, my answer for this question about something that I pretend to know and understand, but I really don't, is maths.
Hey, can I say thank you for putting the S on the end of maths?
No
why are
problem.
we celebrating this?
Because you don't call it mathematic.
Yeah,
It's
you call it
mathematics.
But you know what? You know what else? All three of us are in America, and all three of us speak an American dialect. And you know what the American dialect shortened form of mathematics is? Math.
Well, it's wrong, so I call it maths. Um,
It's not wrong.
it's
I'm
not
really
wrong. You
upset
can say
now.
if you said math, I wouldn't correct you. I'd probably correct you just because that's how our relationship. But if a normal person said math somewhere, I wouldn't be like, excuse me, actually, it is maths.
Well,
I wouldn't do that.
you know how you sound when you say maths? You sound
Like,
pretentious. You sound like you're trying to know what you're talking about.
I'm not trying to know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to be as honest as possible by saying I don't know anything about maths.
Yeah, like what it's called in America.
Sure.
The number one
Anyway,
thing.
the moral of the story is that I'm terrible. I'm terrible at math. Like, I never learned my multiplication tables. I like BS'd my way through that. Barely. I mean, I wasn't. I always had a hard time with math. I had whatever the corollary is to like reading disorders. If there's one for math, I have that. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at mathematics. There we go.
Yeah, you can say mathematics all you want. That's
I guess
fine.
we're gonna have to now. Say mathematics instead of math.
I'm not good at mathematics.
There you go.
And like I have to pretend that I know it because especially like I don't know, people always in arguments and things like that. Oh, I don't know. It just seems to always come up, and I just like pretend that I know some sort, like especially when it deals with money. Ugh, it's the worst. That's it. That's the end of my answer.
Sorry, my microphone was resting on some usage manuals, and I decided to look it up and see if mathematics was in there.
You mean maths or mathematics?
Mathematics.
Mathematics is in there.
It wasn't. It wasn't in the usage manual. So
Well, that's weird.
I could have lied to you and said that it was, and be like, yeah, and it says the appropriate shortened form for American dialects is math, but I didn't.
Well, okay. Adam, it's your turn for your question.
My question. Wait. What was Andrew's answer?
How do you answer? Remember? Nerdy
No.
things.
Oh yeah.
Just nerdy things.
Just nerdy things. Hashtag just nerdy things.
That's the name of my stand-up album too.
Hashtag just nerdy things.
Hashtag just nerdy things.
Hashtag nerdy things. Okay.
Oh yeah. So my question for you guys. So Andrew, you're gonna start. You're gonna start us off. My question is, what is the worst way for a first date to end?
So is this like a first date that I've been on, like an actual date, or like a hypothetical? What's the first way to end the first date?
Either one is fine.
Oh, how I
So-
wish I had a choice between those two.
That's what I'm trying to think, because actual would be a little bit easier, but because I always think something worse could happen at the end. You know what I mean?
Always the worst, I guess.
They could always be worse. So I'm trying to think of like the worst terrible thing that could ever happen. So there's like either two ways.
Let's go with how it actually happened to you first. How about that?
Okay, well it's kind of a long story, but it's really good, so I'm going to share it. So this is like the worst date I've ever been on, and I hope this person isn't listening, but I don't think she is.
Well,
If she is, she'll
she
understand.
probably wants nothing to do with you.
No, we're still cool. We're still chill. But so it was actually I had went on a date with a sister for my mission. It was the first mistake. But let me back up. So the sister comes back from our mission, and she lives in California. And I'm like, hey, we should hang out because I want to, catch up. I love my mission. It was fun. She's like, yeah, sure, we'll go do something. I'm like, okay, cool. And I hung up the phone. And then like 5 minutes later, she calls me back and she says, hey, is this a date or are we just hanging out? And I'm like, I guess it could be a date. Why not? Whatever.
That's always a good way for a date to end. Yeah, I guess this is a date. Sure.
Well, this isn't even.
Well, that's beginning.
This
Yeah.
is the beginning. It's gonna get crazy. So
No,
I'm like, okay,
I'm just saying, like it's put you on a trajectory for failure.
So I'm like, okay, cool. Sure, why not? So then I get a call from one of my converts and says, hey, are you going on a date with Sister So-and-so? I'm like, wait, what? How did you know this? And I guess she had told my mission president that she was going on a date with me. My mission president told the assistants. One of the assistants was one of my companions, and he told this investigator in the space of like 4 hours.
Because they didn't have anything else to be doing.
They don't have anything else to do, apparently. So already I'm like getting calls from missionaries from my mission. And I'm like, this is terrible. This is the worst thing ever. And
It's like the most eyes on a date ever.
yeah, so I'm like, this is not going to work well. Either this is going to work really well or terribly. Anyway, so we go out, and it's fine. it's a little awkward, and then at the end, it's pretty much I don't know why we started doing, but we ended up talking about politics.
Nope.
Oh,
That's the worst way ever.
oh, that's
It doesn't matter how on the same page you are on with a person. You will always have like a different opinion, and it'll change. Like I don't care. Like I've come to the point where I just don't care about it. But there's people that really care, and she was one of those people that really cares. And so I think the fact that I didn't care just like made her upset, and then I got calls from people saying, "Hey, what happened? Why didn't that work out?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you." Anyway, but the worst way, hypothetically, to end a date is if the world ends like I Am Legend or something, and you're the only last two people on the Earth, and you realize like this date is extended forever.
So the worst date to end is for a date to never end.
Yes, that's the worst way for a date to end.
It only ends in death.
Yes.
Which you're trying to extend.
Like these, there's like these vampire zombie hordes of creatures, and you guys are just kind of tired of each other.
Yeah, and you're still like on the date too, so you're still like opening doors for her as you're running away from zombies. And you're still like
zombies are attacking. You open her car door for her.
Yeah, and so the date never ends. That's the worst way to end a date.
I know, that's because then you'd be in like perpetual like limbo of like, oh, can I hold her hand or not?
Yeah, it's really difficult because you don't want to you don't want to move too fast. You don't want to make it move on the first date.
Right, especially if the world is ending, because those are high stakes.
Yeah, so if you never leave like the presence of a person, does the date ever end? Like, is it perpetually the first date? You're like, oh, she said she doesn't want to kiss on the first date. Stop kidding now.
It's been
Forever.
20 years, but
or will it be like those times when you meet somebody like in the supermarket or something, and then you say, oh, it was nice meeting you. Okay, goodbye, and then you walk away, and then you just circle around and you meet each other in different aisles again. You're like, hello.
Oh, see you again.
Okay, bye. And then you meet you meet each other in the checkout line. You're just like, oh, hey, but you've already exhausted everything you wanted to talk about with this person.
Pleasantries are over, and you never want to talk to this person again.
Yeah.
So I just realized I need to write that movie as a romantic movie.
That's a romantic
of a date. As like a date that's like not even like really good, but just like whatever, nothing's happening, and then suddenly you have to spend all eternity with each other. Like that.
What would that movie be called? Like, I Am Hitch?
No, I don't know. I think there's a lot of opportunity for hilarity to ensue.
Yeah.
you know Michael Cera has to be cast as the lead role, right?
No, just a zombie or something.
Michael Cera as a zombie. Michael Cera.
Just a really awkward zombie. It's like, hey.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. So I don't know if you want to just like maybe you just give me a finger or something. I don't know. Cut it off. That's all I need, really.
It's like, I'll be fine. I'll be okay.
And he still looks like a bird somehow. Oh, okay. Good answer.
Okay, so that was my long answer.
My answer is a real life situation that happened to me. And it happened to me like a couple of times, and it always just kind of made everything weird. So regardless of how the date went, this was back a long time ago when I was younger. So, you would drop her off back at her house, and you would walk her to the door, and I'm definitely not someone who is gonna like make a move at the front door. Like that's just not, that's not how I operate. I don't even really operate, period. But like
when you are operating, that is not the method in which
that is not how I do things. How I would have done things back then either. So but this happened a couple of occasions where I would walk my date to the front door, and we'd just be talking and saying goodnight, and I'm like, on one occasion I was even going in to give her a hug, like no big deal, and then their parent opened the door. Apparently, like obviously waiting for us. Obviously on the other side, having like been listening in and like spying on us. And then not with a look on their face of like, oh hey, ha ha ha, I'm playing a joke or anything like that. Like a look on their face of like, don't even think about it. And like I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just thinking that we had a nice time. I was saying good night. That's it. I'm not, and so like that reaction makes them think, oh, was I just rescued from a terrible situation where this guy was gonna try and take advantage of me? No, it's just like you can't even talk afterwards. You can't. It is the worst way to end a first date that I've ever experienced, because even if there was no interest and you weren't ever going to ask them out again, now you're permanently kind of in this weird dance with this person where you're trying to like not make sure they know you're not a creep. I don't know, it's terrible. I did not enjoy that one bit.
And like the more flustered you get trying to convince them that you're not creepy, the more creepy you get.
Yeah, there's no way to win.
Because that's exactly what creepers say. They say, I'm not creepy, I promise. But the only people who say that are actually really creepy.
It's just about ethics in dating.
I don't know where that came. Like I know what you're referencing, but I don't know how it has to do anything to do with what you were just talking about.
It doesn't. We'll move along. It's because like creepy. If I have to explain it, it obviously isn't good enough. So let's go on.
Yeah, you should probably cut that out.
People will get it.
Okay, maybe other people will. I don't know.
What's
Anyway,
your answer?
So my answer starts much like Andrew's does with a bad beginning, right? So there's this girl in one of my classes. Hopefully, no, she doesn't have a Facebook, so she probably doesn't know this podcast exists. Anyway, so she
changed that. You should say, "Hey, I talked about you on this podcast. You should totally listen to it."
Nope, not gonna do that. So she was kind of cute, and I was thinking, hey, maybe I'll ask her out or something. And we had been talking, so it was like, she clearly doesn't despise me, so that's a good sign. And so I was thinking about asking her out. And one day we were just talking, and then she left, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Next time I see her, I'm gonna ask her out. And then that day, I got an email from her, and she was like, hey, so I have this friend. She's awesome. And she was like, she's pretty great. And I was like, oh, all right then. And I figured,
on the one hand, you get the email and you think it's nice that she's thinking about me. And then you read the email and you think it's really not that great that she's thinking about me as someone she wants to set up with somebody else and not herself.
Right, exactly. But this was a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, I'm bored. I have nothing else to do. So I called her a friend. I was like, whatever, who cares? Like, we're just gonna see.
That's always a good start to anything. I've learned in life that whenever I start anything with whatever, what the crap, it's always the terrible.
I think that was the exact sentence you said before you had that fake engagement on Facebook.
Yep. We'll talk about that some other time.
Okay. So I call her up, and she's like, oh, I'm busy on the weekend. I already have plans on the weekend. And I was like, who has plans on the weekend if you're not going on a date? Anyway, so we met up on just like some random Wednesday. And I was like, well, let's just go get ice cream or whatever. So we went and we got ice cream, and we were eating it. And it was all right. We were both English majors, so it got really nerdy. We talked about our favorite books and stuff. But then there was somebody else was there with a toddler, which is the worst thing ever for a date, because toddlers have no rules of like social interaction. They don't have
a filter.
They don't understand the concept of personal space. So this toddler just comes running up. She's super cute. She's like, and then my date just starts playing with this toddler, and I'm just sitting there eating my ice cream, like, well, this is happening now.
You got blocked by a toddler.
I did. I really did. So basically, the rest of the date was just her playing with a toddler and me eating my ice cream slowly.
There's nothing for you to do in that situation either, because
you can't chase the toddler away.
Yeah, because then you are petty and being a jerk.
You could have played with the toddler as well.
I did a little bit, but I was mostly I was actually talking really loudly to the toddler in hopes that the parents would notice and be like, "Oh, come here, honey, that poor man's on a date." But no, that never happened.
You should have been like kind of creepy. Like, oh, I could just take you home, and some parents like, oh, we better go grab this.
I'm not sure if that would have improved the situation.
Yeah, this is just a lose situation.
There's nothing but loss in my future. So we finish our ice cream, and I'm driving her home, and we're still we start having a pleasant conversation again. But it was kind of at that point, it was just a loss, And I just chalked it up like, well, that was a fun experiment. I guess I'll take you home now. And we were driving home or whatever, and I walked her to her door, and she unlocked it, and I was like, okay, bye. And I was like about to go in for a hug, and then she just holds her hands out and gives me a fist bump. And that, my friends, is the worst way for a first date to end.
The fist bump?
The fist bump.
She's like, I don't even want to be in that proximity to you.
I don't want to even embrace your hand. Is pretty much what she's saying.
As cute as a
Nucks on nucks. I only want to touch you with the part of my body that is essentially bone.
The roughest and hardest part of my body is all I want to make contact with you.
Least sensitive to any sort of feeling.
Emotional or physical.
I guess it technically could have been worse. Because, when people are sick, and so instead of shaking hands, they just, touch elbows or whatever, because they're trained. Yeah, that could have happened, I guess.
Like you have gloves on, you're working in a restaurant, you just elbows.
Elbows. So it could have ended that way, so I guess I should be thankful that didn't happen.
Or you could do like a chest bump. Maybe that's worse. Or better. Good date.
That would be better, I think. You're like, oh, at least
that would be unique and intriguing. But no, this was just a fist bump, and I'm not going to pretend like my self-esteem wasn't hurt a little bit.
I would have totally called her out. I'd be like, no, I don't understand why this is appropriate to you.
No, you can't. That's creepy.
That becomes
demanding physical contact is creepy.
Yeah, there's
you don't have to demand. I would just be
like reaction other than walking away at that point.
So just so you know, any hope of a second date or anything, not going to happen. So you may not want to do that.
I'm sure if she gave him a fist bump, she wasn't thinking.
I don't think she was really worried about it. She probably just wanted to see that toddler again.
She's probably out with him right now.
She's probably babysitting that little baby right now.
They're probably married by now. Wait.
No. What?
They probably have little toddlers of their own.
Oh, that's just... You know what? I'm a hugger, too. Like, that, to me, probably the worst feeling on earth is to be denied a hug, because I never think of a hug as anything more... Like, I don't ever think of it as intimate. Does that make sense? Like...
Yeah.
In no way... Like, I just think of it as, like, the best way for me to express that I think you're great, or I'm happy to see you, or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like trying to be a good person. And so then when people deny you hugging them, it feels like I would rather get kicked between the legs as hard as possible.
I'm sorry, this is completely off topic, but outside of my window, I just saw somebody riding past on a bike doing a wheelie the entire time, and it was amazing.
Awesome.
Maybe they're
back to what you're saying.
So, the worst thing about hugging, especially in a social situation, is if you're like new to the social group and everyone's giving hugs to each other and you're just sitting there and they're like, okay,
you don't know if you're hugging me.
You're just like, okay, I'm gonna stand here. If someone goes in, and you're like, everyone's like, bye. I'm like, okay, maybe next time.
I'm not a big hugger, but like I enjoy hugs when they do happen. It's like each one is special to me, and so to have that replaced with a bro fist was just terrible.
Yeah, like, and you would never turn down, like, I guess, I mean, like, because I think in my head, okay, when would I turn down a hug? And I think if the person is just super smelly, like, if them lifting their arms is going to really make me want to puke, probably not. If are super sketchy, like skeezy.
I was dressed in a button down. I looked nice, and I didn't smell. So I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
that's the worst part. You start thinking, well, what's wrong with me then? Am I stinky?
Was
Am
it
I
raining?
weird?
Were you covered in water and she just didn't want to get wet? That's
No,
what I think it was. Okay.
wasn't that.
You could have saved face.
So
You know
go
what? That was it.
after the
I
the
don't,
ice cream,
I
we
don't
did go on a log
appreciate.
ride.
I don't appreciate all this victim blaming that's happening right now. I don't think it was my fault.
why are you the
Oh,
victim? It sounds like she may think she is the victim.
everyone's a victim when hugs are denied, I think.
Nobody wins.
Obviously there are creepy people. Don't hug them. I'm not
Actually,
condoning that.
they probably need hugs more than anyone, Aaron.
I don't know. Like if you're a woman and some creepy dude, eh.
That's what
I
you.
kind of want that to be a motivational poster now. Obviously, there are creepy people. Don't hug them.
I just think like if someone's normal and you just give them a hug, it's not that bad. You can do it. I believe in you.
I'm gonna make that poster. I'm gonna write a note to myself to make that poster.
Instead of reading Shakespeare plays.
This is why you couldn't finish 12th Night.
I read Twelfth Night last semester. I'm reading Othello right now, and I already know how it ends. Everyone dies.
Well, you just read it for me. I hope you feel good about that.
That's how every Shakespeare play ends. Either everybody dies or everybody gets married. Those are the two options.
Okay.
All right, Andrew. Let's hear your question.
Okay, how did I write this one out? I put it down as... Okay, what is your favorite guilty pleasure book, movie, or TV show?
All right, so I'm the first one to answer this, and I had a really hard time because I don't feel guilty about things I choose to watch or read. If I did, I wouldn't read. Does that make sense? I wouldn't choose to read something I feel bad about. I probably.
Yeah.
I read something I felt bad about reading.
Well, it's not your turn, so.
I know. It didn't give me any pleasure though, so I'm not going to use that as my answer.
So I really had to think about it, and I thought, well, I do kind of have. I have something against reality TV in general, because like I think in general it's bad for people. I think it's pretty just terrible. It's probably the major what's the word here? It's probably like the major reason people are just getting dumber and dumber. Because it's not really that challenging. So I guess I feel I would, if there was a reality show that especially indulged in the stupider aspects of human life, I would probably feel a little bit guilty about. I would probably still watch it if I liked it, but I'd feel guilty that I'm endorsing such things. And so then I realized I have been watching this reality show from England called First Time Farmers, which sounds weird. But it is about the younger generation of like, you know, people from like 18 to 30 who are trying to take over their family farms because their parents are, you know, on their way out and they want to take it over, and so it's like them trying to prove they're responsible and getting their work done, and then at night going and getting sloshed and partying and stuff like that. So it's like Jersey Shore in English farms. And it's pretty bad. It's the same. There's a lot of the same kind of people, you know, like the meathead kind of like party people. Yeah.
I can't fit those two things together in my head. Jersey Shore and farmers, like
you need to watch it.
It doesn't fit together. It doesn't mesh. I don't understand. I can't imagine some Guido like working hard on a farm and then saying, "Well, it's work's done. I got my chores done. Let's go get sloshed." Like I can't imagine that in my brain.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, there's some most of the people on the show are pretty level-headed kind of people, but there are these like crazy party kids. And it's just like, I don't know. It's yeah. I'm pretty ashamed of it, so it's a guilty pleasure. But it's so fascinating to watch.
My guilty pleasure, it goes through, it changes constantly, right? My guilty pleasure show. So like 10 weeks ago it was blacksmith videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
But this week I realized that it's Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares.
Oh no.
It's just every single episode has the exact same narrative, but if it's on I can't not watch it.
See, I can't watch.
Ramsay comes in, and the food is terrible, and the inside of the restaurant is ugly, and nobody who works there likes each other. And then he yells at them for the first half hour, and then in the next 5 minutes he fixes the restaurant, and then in the next 5 minutes he fixes the food, and then in like the last 20 minutes or whatever is their big opening night, and it's wonderful, and everybody loves everything, and they're a big happy family again.
I just can't.
But I can't not watch that.
Yelling. I can't. I don't like watching stuff with yell. Like I hate yelling. Ugh. Like people who get in yelling arguments. I can't do it, man.
Yeah. So right now it's Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. Sometimes it's Storage Wars though, because it's so fake. You know that it's so fake, and it knows that you know that it's so fake, but it still does what it does, and it's amazing.
Storage Wars. That's the one with the storage containers.
Yeah, so they bid on storage containers, which is a really boring premise. So I don't know how it started to get made in the first place, but after it got made, the producers realized it was really boring, and they started creating these characters and very clearly asking the people who bid on these storage containers to do stupid things.
Yeah,
But it's amazing to watch.
I watched one episode of that one time. Like I was in a hotel room and I flipped on the TV and that's what was on in it. And there was like, it was just like some senior citizens, some normal people just bidding. And then there's this guy in like he's like 6'8" tall in like a black suit and a fedora named something like, like Montana Jim. And like, they're like, Montana Jim takes this seriously, and then like he's just like a jerk, and I'm like, he's a celebrity in the world of buying stuff out of containers. Like, I can't believe that's real.
And like, there's a guy who like dressed as Elvis, and there's somebody else with a pink hair wig or something, and they're bidding on this storage container, and then it cuts to commercial, and there's like a couple of like orchestra hits, and it shows their faces, and they're looking, off screen somewhere, kind of angrily, and you're like, I'm not sure if they even took these clips from the same time.
Like,
they've edited it all together to create this narrative that never existed in the first place.
All this conflict that wasn't really there.
Yeah, and it's just last Christmas I went home and my parents were watching it, and I walked in the room and I was like, Mom, this show is so dumb. It's so obviously fake. And then I sat down and I watched it with her for like 3 hours.
That's how they get you. Oh, all right, Andrew, what's your answer to this?
So, I haven't had time recently to indulge in any guilty pleasures because I haven't had time. But before, I had two ones. I loved watching Law and Order. And Law and Order is the same episode over and over again. Like I'm pretty sure it's like the same dialogue over and over again. But I still watch it. I enjoy it so much. But the one I'm most ashamed of is I watched a lot more than I probably should have, and that's Pawn Stars. And here's the thing. I hate that show. I don't like the characters.
You like
I don't like
anger
the
watching?
But I watch it. It's like if it's on, I'll watch it. I'm like, okay, it's on. I'll watch it. And I sit there and watch it. I'm like, I feel bad the entire time, just like brewing inside. Like, oh, what is this? Why is this? What's wrong with America that this is a show? And I'm sitting there watching it.
Yeah, I used to hate binge on that one too.
I love Pawn Stars sometimes. Like this guy will come in with a brick of pure gold, and the guy will say, "Oh, this looks like gold to me, but I'll have to call in my gold guy." The gold guy will come in and be like, yeah, it's gold, stamped with the Civil War insignia. And they'll come back. Best I can do is $12.
The other guy cuts to him with $12 in his hand outside. He's like, I figured I wanted to get a hamburger today, so I took it. Glad to get that gold off my hands.
I was really hoping for a hefty sum, but you made some good points. He's got to sell that for a profit. He's got to store it.
So I was watching Pawn Star, and I'm like, this isn't a real pawn shop. I want to watch a reality show of a real pawn shop where people bring in stuff they just robbed, and it's just like weird
real
stuff.
Sketchy people coming in,
and they're like trying to sell like sinks and stuff, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to take this.
Trying to sell someone's gold teeth.
Yeah, it's like I would watch that show like crazy, and just watch.
Somebody comes in with a radio they've obviously just ripped out of a car in the parking lot. Like, best I can do is call the cops.
A car alarm is going off in the parking lot.
It's like, I'm pretty sure that's my car.
That's my radio.
Look at there's my copy of Taylor Swift's 1989 inside of the radio right now.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd watch that show like crazy.
That would be good.
That show would be wonderful. I would love that show so much.
Make it happen. All right. Well, hey, that's the show. That's it.
Yeah. We didn't go off on any tangents or anything. It was a real tight show this time.
Real tight episode.
Should we do an outro? Can I do it this time?
I don't know. I still have the post-show read to do. It's at the end of that read that we say the phrase, and
I think for this show we increased our humor setting from 50 to 75%.
I don't think this show is that funny.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe. It's always hard to tell. I don't know.
I had a good time.
I don't know how the show is until I edit it and it's done.
And then you know if it sucks.
Yeah, I can never tell. Like after I had a fun time.
It felt good. We had some good interaction in the chat.
Well, let's do the read and then we'll talk. I want to talk about a couple things before we go. But so thanks for listening. You can find the show notes for this episode at 3g3q.co/211. That's 211 because this is season 2, episode 11. And we'd also love to hear from you. So where can people get a hold of you guys?
I am _SAV on the Twitters, ASAV. Or you can email me at the 3guys3questions email. I'll answer.
That's 3guys3questions@gmail.com. The number 3 guys, number 3 questions @gmail.com.
I can be found at that Adam Kid on Twitter, and I've recently been making fun of people's names in Utah. So if you want to get in on some of that sweet action, follow me.
Nobody in Utah wants to follow you now.
Like Tyler with a U or something.
Tyler with the EIGH at the end.
I've recently come up with a new game called "Is it a medication or is it a Utah girl's name?"
Oh man!
Make that. Do it. Make some flashcards.
Make a BuzzFeed quiz or something.
Yeah.
Also, I wanna make sure everyone remembers that they can ask us questions directly at 3g3q.co/ask. And if you ask us those questions, we will either answer them in a blog post or we will ask them on the air. So you could have a chance to have your question asked on air. Just when you fill it out, let us know if we can read your name or not, or whatever what you want us to say on there. We'll do it. We'll answer your question.
I'm up for it. I promise not to make fun of your name if it's weird and you're from Utah.
Also, you can rate us on iTunes. Please do that. That really helps out our show. Or in Stitcher. You can do that by going to 3g3q.go/rate, and it'll have links for the iTunes Store and Stitcher. And then also, that's it. And Also. Anyhow, goodbye.
And remember, question everything.
I hope it was worth it, Adam.
It wasn't. It was not worth it.
Look how happy.
You feel so good about yourself.
I did my best radio voice for it, too.
I'm trying. What would my radio voice sound like? Oh, not like that. And remember, question everything.
You got a little Casey Kasem in there.
And remember, question everything. There we go.
Sounds like,
Sounds like
Dad.
Tom.
Oh my. George Takei. Oh my.
We're just gonna do this show forever now. Is this gonna be it? Is this my life?
Wait, okay, so I wanted to talk about the Christmas thing. I don't think is gonna happen because I cannot write anything, and
I'm also way too busy to write things. I have finals coming up.
yeah, everything's getting busier.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, even if I could write, like, finagling that together is gonna be tough. So I was thinking, do you guys want to just do a double? We'll do 2 recordings in one day, and do the Christmas episode after that.
Yeah,
and
we can do that.
So let's figure out. We don't have to do it right now, but I mean, as soon as we can, which week that would be best? Because for me, it does any Saturdays, whatever, probably. But probably sooner than later, figure out a Saturday where we can do 2 episodes, and then I was thinking I could try and ask we could all ask some of our podcaster friends or people to just record questions.
Oh yeah.
And so they do the questions, and then we just do the answers, and just kind of make it a little bit of a shorter show, probably.
Like have a lightning round on questions or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That could be cool.
So maybe we could do 3 questions on Christmas topics, and then we have a lightning round of questions from other podcasters. Because that'd be easy for them to just record a quick question and send it our way.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I could even set up a phone number for them to call in, actually.
Oh yeah, that would be even easier.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
a Google Voice number or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because I have a Google Voice number that I haven't been using for anything for a while, so.
Yeah, and we could set it up so like, hey, call this number. You can say what your podcast is, and then you can like who you are and what podcast you're from, and then record your question, and we'll answer it.
Yeah.
That could be a good promotional tool for both of us.
Yeah, that would be fun. All right. I think there was something else I can't remember. Oh, the thing I want is Andrew, please make sure it gets uploaded.
I will make sure.
Because I want to get it
Promise.
done early today. I've been doing it on Sunday, and I kind of don't want to do that anymore. So.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's no problem. Just giving you a friendly reminder to make sure it uploads before you go on your merry way. Anything else?
Should we force some banter so that we can have a cold open?
There's probably something in there we could. Didn't we? We were talking about something before. Were we recording? Maybe we weren't.
I don't think we were recording then.
I just don't have anything to talk about.
We should make it sound like it's really scripted.
But that means effort.
Not actually script it, just act like you're reading. And then we could go,
That's still too much effort.
Okay.
I'm sure I can find something in there.
You'll find it.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
I don't think I've ever lost the feeling of how much I loved that one really meta cold open that week.
I know it's tempting to try to do stuff like that all the time, but I think
want to do it all the time, but it'll ruin it.
I think that ruins it. Did you ever watch the show the show with Zay Frank back in the day when he was doing like a daily video?
No, I'm vaguely aware of him, but I don't think I ever watched him.
Okay. Yeah, so this is like 2007 he was doing this.
Yeah.
For like 2 or 3 years of video every weekday, and it started when it was like super underground, and then at one point it started to get kind of internet popular. And so the first time he kind of realized that, he started his show out like it was like a cookie, like a really lame cooking show. And he did the whole day's show like that. And he kept doing these and then after that he's like, all right, the new viewers are gone. We can go back into what we were doing. So there's always options like that. But I think he was smart. He spaced it out. I think it's smart to space that kind of stuff out.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just gonna say hi to everyone in the chat room. To
Yeah, my mom said that she had her phone hooked up to her car speakers, so it was like I was on the actual radio. which is pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
hi, Mom. I love you.
I realized I was like in my car and someone needed to ask me something as I was leaving one day, and I was listening to our podcast and it was my voice. And the guy was like weirded out, and I didn't realize why he was making those weird faces until like later that day when I realized, oh yeah, that's weird to listen to yourself.
It's weirder watching someone listen to themselves without like in a weird situation like in their car.
Yeah, do you guys listen? Like I listen one time through to get links to share.
I really don't listen to the whole thing. Maybe the beginning.
Yeah.
I usually listen through it on Monday mornings while I'm getting ready, and while all my other roommates are out and about. The first couple of weeks, they gave me weird looks, like, what the heck is happening? Like, they knew I was on a podcast, but it was early in the morning, so they're still just kind of confused. Now they just do it. They're like, Adam's listening to himself again.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't notice anything new because I've edited it, but I was wondering if you guys like have an experience where you like notice something new.
I do sometimes. I can't remember in a specific part, like a specific time, but yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to stop my recording now.
Okay, me too.
And then I'm going to save it. And on your file names, can you guys put your name on it?
Yeah.
Because I can't tell.
Sorry.
Oh, I've just been doing that the whole time, so...
Okay, yeah, it's not the big deal. Sometimes I know
talking to me.
I'm not trying to point any fingers, but...
I am. Away from me.
One of us with an A name.
I'll just put my initial on it.
Jen 10, you're too kind. She says it was funny. I don't know though. She always says it's funny.
Yeah. I
guess that's probably why she listens.
That's a good point. I wonder what was with those like random spikes of listens this last week.
I really do. I know you. I know, like, I know accusing you of this makes me a psychopath. But I really do believe that you just feel so bad about the numbers sometimes that you go to the webpage and just keep hitting Command R, or Control R, Control R, Control R, refresh play, refresh play, refresh play, just to boost the numbers.
I do not do that.
I don't understand why so many of our numbers come from the web browser. I don't like.
A lot of people that do listen to it that I know personally listen to the web browser. Mostly girls that don't know how to use their phone to get podcasts.
Huh. Super weird. Should we make like an instructional video?
I think we probably should.
I feel like that's mansplaining.
we could also show them how to rate us on iTunes instead of just saying it. Like have like a video of like someone going and clicking.
So you know people see a lot. I don't know. Nobody I really know that I interact with listens to the podcast. To my understanding, like
it's just like 3 or 4 people that I know that regularly listen to it.
Yeah, but that still doesn't account for the number. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know what's with the numbers. Conley was in the chat today. He might still be there. No, he's gone, but he was there.
Yeah.
I was excited.
Yeah, it's inexplicable, and they're small numbers. Like, they're not anywhere near what they could like other podcasts. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just happy because somebody, because we're not on Zoom. You have a Zune? Gen 10 just said, I listened to it on the web because you are not on Zune.
I didn't know
Zune is anything on Zune?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know Zunes were still around.
I had one like 5 years ago.
I'm just impressed by that, Jen.
How do you put podcasts on Zunes?
No, we're not on Zune, so I think that's why she listens.
Are any podcasts on Zune?
Wait.
Are music on Zune? Like, is it?
What is... Jen, what is Zune? Tell us this.
Hey, is this episode 10 or episode 11?
You don't know what a Zune is? It's like Microsoft's...
No, I know what a Zune is, but I don't think she's talking about a Zune, because she says she listens to podcasts on her phone in Zune.
What the heck?
I don't know.
Jen, what kind of
needs to
phone do you
explain.
have? Oh, she has. Oh, yeah, it's a Zune player. She has a Windows phone. I remember that.
Oh, the
Why do
Zoom
I
is
remember what
amazing.
phones people have? That's weird.
Because you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I keep track of what kind of verbal gaffes people make. It's just how I roll.
And then you just hold it against them.
Only
Baron,
when it's
I made
advantageous.
I made an episode 11 folder in the Dropbox. So
Oh, cool. Yeah, I forgot to do that.
okay, it's moving now. I'm not turning off my computer. It's open.
How to play podcasts. How do you? Are you sure it doesn't work in your player? If you go to Gen 10, if you go to
Knowing Microsoft, it probably still uses Windows Media.
try going to in the web browser on your phone. Try going to there and see if there's a way you can use one of those links. Like if you just use the RSS link, I mean that's like the most basic way that it works. There's got to be a way for you. Anyhow, yeah.
Hey, anyway, while you guys, I have to go do my homework. So
All
it's good
right,
to
see you
probably
later.
soon.
We'll stop the broadcast. All right, bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.